Hi everyone, I am Brian.
And I'm Angie. And we are in Egypt right now. That's why the background. Yeah. Okay. First, appreciation for Egypt. That's why the background is a little bit different. And yeah, that's basically the topic, traveling, and specifically traveling as a multicultural couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We wrote down some questions. This time we wrote them down together, so we basically know what awaits us, both of us, finally.
Exactly.
Question number 1, let's just start straight ahead with what is more difficult and what is easier when traveling as a multicultural couple?
What is easier and what is more difficult? So, it's a very sensitive subject.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's easier for us to access things that are quote unquote, at least from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
things that are quote unquote reserved for the wealthy. Let's say it's a jewelry shop. We're traveling to a jewelry shop, let's say here in Egypt. I feel like if I walk in alone, like an expensive shop,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is very cliche, but I feel like the attendant would probably more or less be like, okay, so this black guy just walked in, okay, what is he doing? What is he doing? But I feel like when we walk in together, there's a high level of trust. People assume, okay, it's an interracial couple. They probably have a bit more money. They assume we have more money than we do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more relaxed about how they go about attending to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I found is an advantage really when we're traveling together to these different places. I can't think of a disadvantage. I mean, we draw quite a bit of attention regardless of where we go. Actually,
True, that is true.
we get a bit of attention. It's not every day you see an interracial couple, I guess.
Exactly. I noticed there are really not a lot of black people, like Arabic black. Yet, can I say this? Arabic black and sub-Sahara African black.
Yeah. It's a different-
I don't know if that makes sense, but there are not a lot of black people, and I think that's one reason why we or you draw a lot of attention, and people keep asking us, "Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?"
Yeah.
True. And I have another thing. I think it's a disadvantage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that is we compare a lot, and we see how unfair it actually is, because I mean, Egypt is now our example here. For me, traveling to Egypt, I book a flight, I enter a plane, then I get off the plane and walk into Egypt. And that's it. Maybe I need a visa, like pay 25 euros or dollars for a visa. I don't even need it. It depends on where I stay exactly. So, but that's a different story. So me, for example, I didn't have to do anything prior. Like I got a stamp in my passport without doing anything. The disadvantage here, as a multicultural couple, is the comparison you make, and you see how mean that is.
It's unfair.
It's unfair, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I had to. I mean, compared to other places we've been to, Egypt was relatively easy. Okay, no, India was easier.
Yes, India was easier. India, we just needed an e-visa, both the same basically.
E-visa, which was
and that was nice. That was equal. Like
that was equal, yeah. But to Egypt, you literally didn't need to apply for anything. We just literally walked into the country.
Yep. I walked in, showed my passport stamp.
And that was it. I had to get my polio vaccine. I had to get my yellow fever vaccine. I had to get so many documents. My certificate of good conduct from the police.
Yes.
But I mean, we're not discrediting the process. I mean, they have reasons why they have all these processes, but it still feels unfair. Kenyan passport versus German passport. That's a huge comparison point. I have another interesting one. Maybe you may remember it. We were playing darts. So the hotel we were staying at has these different activities, and one of them is a game of darts, like a competition of darts.
Yes.
And the facilitator of the game goes around picking everyone's name, and he was asking us our names, and he asked me like, where are you from? I said Kenya. He was like, oh, cool, nice. And then I asked, where are you from? He said Kenya. And he looked up, like, I was like, so.
I remember, like, looked at you,
Yeah.
looked at me,
Yeah.
looked at you, looked at me. Didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
but yeah, like you could see in his face what he wanted to ask.
Yeah. And I mean, he even said, I don't mean to be offensive or anything, but huh? It's like, what?
That's literally what he said. Huh?
Yeah. So, but that was funny. Like it was
Yes,
funny.
yes,
right?
yes,
So,
definitely.
traveling as an interracial couple has more. I would say more. It's not necessarily easy to classify it into advantages and disadvantages. It's just some things are interesting. Some experiences are interesting. You can't put them in any category. They're just interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this story actually brings us to question number 2 already. Like, what is a reaction from Egyptians to us, like as an interracial couple? And yeah, that was one reaction. When they asked where we are from, because we are now, like, we look very different, but now we're coming from the same place. So it's, of course, yeah.
It's interesting.
It's interesting, definitely.
I think we'll always get reactions. I think we'll always get reactions. It just differs from country to country. I think India was pretty stark. Like India was that was a lot of attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, but that, like, so many people wanted to take pictures of us,
Yeah.
mostly of you, but sometimes also from me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, I think, okay, let's say they asked for pictures 10 times,
Yeah.
and I think like 8 times was about you, and they wanted pictures with you.
Yeah.
But 2 times they wanted with me. Like,
That was
it's not the exact number, but yeah.
That was opposite of what. That was different.
Yes.
But again, I mean, we were in India just in one city, New Delhi. So maybe it's different from place to place.
Oh yeah, that could.
But
be.
that was just an experience in one city.
Yeah.
In Egypt, I haven't really noticed anything outstanding. It's
No.
pretty normal. I mean, you get the occasional stare or like someone looks at you, but it's nothing too much. It's really pretty.
Exactly.
But then again, you also have to consider Egypt gets a lot of visitors throughout the year.
Exactly.
I think,
especially here where we stay,
yeah,
I think they really don't care. Like, it's more tourists than local.
yeah, it's easier to get. But I think, I mean, I'm not sure about the statistics, but I think Egypt it's among top 3 in terms of like highest number of tourists in Africa.
Must be maybe even
top
number
3,
1.
Probably number 1 very
Yeah.
easily. So it's not someone will see us on the street. They won't be like, oh yeah, look at, it's like, oh, tourists. It's not that big of a deal.
I think we're just at the start of our holidays here, of our visit in Egypt. We will experience way more about the reactions and we also planned to do another video actually, like about what we think about Egypt, just as a rough topic. I think I don't have much more to say about it yet. I want to experience it a little bit more. Tomorrow we are outside. Tomorrow is when we will see a lot more and experience a lot more and get more of these reactions
True.
than we have now.
True.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to this actually.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes, very.
We're gonna get some local experiences, visit some interesting places.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. On to the next. Choose.
Choose. Oh, that was good. I like that.
Okay.